He is on the phone. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am well. I'm looking forward to learning a little more from our good friend John Bond on Vidalia onions.
Tell him to send us a crate there. You know, they are the ones that you could actually just kind of chew into, kind of like an apple.
I don't know about that, but I'll take your word for it.
And I don't know if you were listening. This is a good test to see how long you were listening. Do you know what you eat? Perez will tell you. Do you know what you eat if you want to get the onion breath away?
I'm going to say crawfish.
Beep.
Well, that works for me, Michael, but I don't know about everybody else.
Well, I go on and eat go on and do it. Eat the onions, the sausage, and everything else, and then have a twig of parsley to get the onion smell away. Parsley, according to our story earlier this morning. All right, we're getting close here. We've had 3 or 4 major primary runoffs yesterday. And ours is round the corner. It's coming up on Tuesday. So give me the ins and outs of this.
Yeah, I tell you, Paul, one of the things I want to make sure we talk about is about 11% turnout. And I just hope Mississippians will come out, the men and women who fought so bravely, gave everything they had for that right, that freedom to go vote and have our voices heard. I hope Mississippians will respond and come out. Definitely need them at the polls next Tuesday. Obviously, they'll be open from 7 to 7. And absentee voting's live now, so if you have questions about that, you can call your clerk or our office.
Yeah.
So the clerk's office is open from 8 to 5, and they'll be open this Saturday from 8 to 12. So make sure that you make plans and get out to vote. That's very important.
Well, I got to tell you, if I have to be in a wheelchair or crutchers or a scooter or whatever it happens to be, I'm going to be there because, number one, you look at the many different instances of where you have people who are running that are just, I'm sorry, some of them are kooks, and they haven't checked out their platform to the point that they should do this, and all of a sudden they get in because naturally the incumbent's going to be under the gun, which it aggravates me, Michael, and you've been a politician for a long time, and it's got to aggravate you as a politician. You can do 99 things right, be 99% on the conservative, then you do something that they might not understand, and they want to throw you out. But that's just politics.
It is, and one of the things that if you've ever heard me talk, I talk about accountability, and the key thing there is, we get involved in these elections, we go vote, and sometimes we just forget to watch what's going on, and that's unfortunate. So what I tell folks is, part of the accountability is watch those votes, and when you're studying somebody's record, they align with you 95% of the time. They're probably your candidate. So it's important to research the backgrounds, the candidates' platforms, what they have said, not just what they've said, but what they've done as well. So, again, making sure that you've got that information when you go into the polls is important. And other thing, to touch on that, Paul, the trusted information piece. We continue to see things flying around on Facebook, on Twitter, you name it. It's so important to have trusted election information. So if you've got questions, if you think something doesn't sound right, please call our office, call your circuit clerk's office, your local election officials. Make sure you're getting trusted information before you share something that's not true.
It is a weird time because in this time where you can be influenced more by social media through disinformation, there is more availability if you know where to find it and where to go for information. So I mean it's up to you to get that, but I don't think there's ever been a more important time to be a smart voter, and that's the thing that. And you mentioned it. If you voted for somebody, they vote for you 95% of the time, or you're the way that you want them to. It's up to you to go to look at that 5% and find out why they didn't, and maybe there's a reason that if they did, you wouldn't want them to. So it's just one of those things that you have to be a smarter voter today, and unfortunately, we've got dumber voters. I'm sorry, but just played that man on the street, which is larger, the moon or the sun. So you can see
that 5% question there, Paul, is so important. And I remember my first year in the state senate was a vote dealing with some education funding, and I showed up at a school because I'm not a teacher, and she was really mad, and I understood, I understand, but let me have a chance to explain why I voted like that. And I showed up at the school, and there were some sheriff's cars there, and I thought, oh my goodness, what have I gotten into? And we had an hour-and-a-half conversation, and the folks that were there may not have agreed with me, but they just appreciated the opportunity to talk through it. And we walked away as, hey, look, I appreciate you coming and spending the time. So ask those questions. Why did you vote like that? Let me understand what you were thinking. That's very important in the process.
Well, you have got to take your body and your mind to the polling places, and you've got to get it done, because this is going to be a very, very important election coming up, and it is going to decide for the next 2 years as who your representative is going to be. So.
That's right, Paul. We had one other question that's kind of come out. Hey, who can go vote? Obviously, number one, you've got to be a registered voter in that district. Number two, if you voted in the Democratic primary, you cannot come out and vote in the Republican Party runoff. If you voted in the Republican Party primary, you can vote in the runoff. And if you did not vote at all, then you can also come out and vote in the runoff. So very important to get that information out there as well.
If you were a Democrat who voted in the Republican primary, you have to vote in the Republican primary again.
Well, you don't have to show up, I guess. But
well, no, you wouldn't have to vote. But if you vote, you would have to vote in the Republican primary if your name is on the list as voting in the Republican, the first election.
Correct. If you voted in the Republican primary to start, then your only opportunity is to vote in that runoff again.
I got you. All right, sir. 7 o'clock on Tuesday morning it begins, and if somebody wants to do it prior to that, you said something about the circuit clerk's office or the early voting?
That's right. Absentee voting from 8 to 5 in your circuit clerk's office today and tomorrow, and then this weekend, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then this weekend from 8 to 12. So you can go to your circuit clerk's office, make those plans, Paul. If you're voting absentee by mail, they have to be postmarked by Election Day and received within 5 business days. So same rules as we've been working under the last couple of elections. And again, just Mississippians, please go vote. Your voices are important. This is a crucial time for our country.
Here's a personal question with a little bit of an immunity thing. Would I qualify to go and get a early voting at the circuit clerk's office?
How old are you, Paul, and what are your excuses?
My excuses are that I may not want to stand in line that long at the regular. It's not going to be that long of a line anyway. I understand that, but I think would health reasons qualify you to vote at the circuit clerk's office?
Temporary disability. If you have a health reason, it's going to be a temporary disability. Look, go to our website, y'allvote.ms, sos.ms.gov.
And it'll all be there.
And everything is there.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it very much. All right, Michael, thank you. That is Secretary of State Michael Watson. Nina Parikh joins us coming up at 8:05.